And I think we are live. Yeah, we live.
What's up?
What up? What up, Pot?
What's up? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. I had to take a little break. I was just dealing with shit. I had a homeboy of mine that passed and kind of threw things off for me for a minute. Just had to regroup and yeah, it's been a lot going on since then, but I'm back and had to get back and get back centered. But yeah, tonight's show basically we just gonna catch up on what's been going on since then up until now. Nothing too heavy. Just catching up, man, because I know people been like, where they at, man? They ain't seen us in a minute. So what's been up with you?
On a journey, man. Just on a journey. Just still walking that path with no direction. Trying to find direction. Or am I even looking for direction? So
Yeah, I think
that's
at this
all I can
point,
really say.
yeah, I think at this point, a lot of us trying to figure this thing out, man, for real. But we'll get answers sure enough. Got some people in the chat saying, "Hey, what's up?"
Peace.
I think I got some family in the chat. But nah, man. I had a homeboy that passed. It was unexpected, and it's kind of weird because when you see somebody one day and then the very next day they're gone, it was a kind of shock to my system. Like I've been around death before, but you know, it's been a minute. And when you're dealing with somebody you see and they the life of the party, just always happy and just, you know, happy go lucky, and then you just get a phone call that they're not here no more. It was kind of weird, but I had to do some processing, which I did, and you know, it's a lot of that going on right now to keep it 100. Got a lot of people just checking out for whatever reason, but that's just where we at with it, man. We just gonna have to get a thick layer of skin to kind of weather this storm, because I think it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets a
That's
lot
all the
better.
predictions, man. Seems like everybody's saying this storm ain't gonna be quiet soon.
Yeah, man. I think it's some stuff coming down the pipe, and I think a lot of us probably gonna get caught off guard. But you know, it is what it is. You know, there's nothing new under the sun, so we basically got to deal with the fact that it's just cycles, man. About to go through a major
Right.
change, and I just think people need to prep, keep their eyes open, and you know, if you are a spiritual person or religious person, tap in and see what, you know, source is saying to you and what you need to do and how you need to prepare, because yeah, it's a lot going on. But other than that, man, I've been
But
good. The weather kind of cooled off. It was crispy, but you know.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it when it's like 65, 70 degrees, man. It's like I come to life. Man, the sun can be draining, man. You know what I mean? I know everybody give the sun all these props and everything, but the sun beats you up, man. It really beats you up.
Yeah, heat is you know, very beneficial and welcome, but it does take a lot out of you. So you got to be careful and respect the elements. That's what I tell people. Don't, you know, respect the
Yeah, too
elements, or
much.
you will get spanked if you don't respect the
Right.
elements.
Too much of anything pretty much hurts you in this world. You know what I mean? It's like you just got to keep that vibration that you get balanced, then you unbalanced. You know what I mean? It's like you can't maintain balance. That's what everybody got to understand. You cannot maintain balance. It will always cease. You have to rebalance yourself. Always got to rebalance it. That's life. You know what I mean? That's like how the system changed. That's like how the weather changed, the atmosphere changed. It's like everything doesn't. It's not stable. It always has to give and then reevaluate itself. So that's something that we got to learn to understand, because some people just focus too much on certain aspects, like trying to be balanced or trying to be high or this and that. You got to respect that. You have to respect that when you get to certain levels, you're gonna fall. Not you. I mean, you don't want to fall too far. You know what I mean? But you can't stand on a rock too long before you slide or before it get. You know what I mean? You got to jump on another rock. You got to keep moving. So
Yeah, they call
that's
that
all.
the ebb and flow of the universe. The universe is structured chaos, so it has. I'm not gonna call it an off balance thing, but it's one of them things where it's always moving, and in that movement, it causes instability, and that instability causes you to regroup consistently. So you all it's basically change. Change is
Right.
constant in the universe, so nothing stays the same. So as it changes and moves, you have to adjust and adapt. So that's pretty much a universal law um,
Right.
that we have to deal with. But other than that, what's been going on in Jersey? Anything crazy far as just everything that's going on with
Nah, man,
mandates and all that?
everything is a mirror of itself. You know, but everything that's going on. The only thing that's new around here is the weather and stuff like that, man. Nice, nice little brisk weather in the morning, real cold in the morning. Something that I love, that I cherish. I love that briskiness, bro. I love it.
Yeah, it helps. It helps to cleanse the air, man. Keeps things kind of clean, and it's a breath of fresh air. But yeah, man, been a lot of things in the news. I mean, I don't know if people too familiar if they keep up with it, but they just had a forensic audit in Arizona with the election, and they pretty much found out that the system was rigged, and there's probably gonna be some changes coming down the pipe, and who knows how it's gonna turn out, but if other states catch on to what has happened, and we have other states that are now calling for a forensic audit. Here's the thing that people don't understand when we talk about audits. Most people got fooled when they said, okay, we're going to go back and we're going to do a recount. Recounting what you already have is going to put you at the same position. That's like if I had $1,000 that I owed you, right?
Right.
I gave you $500 in real money, and I gave you $500 in fake money.
Right.
And you say, you know what? Count that out. I count out the 1,000, give it to you. Boom. Tell you to count it. You're going to come up with the same number.
Right.
But if you do a forensic audit and look into the watermarks, hold the money up to the light, whatever they got going on far as checking to see if the money I gave you was legit, then you're going to come back to me and say, hey, $500 of that was fake. Now we got a problem. So people got duped in this. A lot of states went back to recount and they came up with the same number. That's because you're counting something that initially, when you look at the numbers, looks the same.
It has to make sense for it.
Yeah.
It has to make some kind of sense to win, right? So
Exactly.
You got to make it make sense.
So as long as people don't understand the trickery in recounting something in an audit, a forensic audit is when they go in, they're going to check the watermarks. They're going to check the type of paper. They're going to check to see if a machine bubbled it in or a human being bubbled it in. They're going to check all that and then come back and talk to me and say, hey, how much of these fucking ballots are real and how many are not? Now you got a whole different conversation that you having. See what I'm saying?
You know what? Sometimes I'm curious if I'm a voter.
Rick's
because I'm not a voter, but I'm curious if I'm on a, you know what I mean? Like I'm curious. I might be voted for Biden or something and don't even know it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Ricks, you on the line?
Yeah, what up?
What's up, man? Doing all right?
Ain't nothing, everything good.
What's up, Ricks?
Catching up, man. Just it's been a minute since we kind of plugged in on this channel here. I was telling everybody ever since I lost my homeboy. Actually, you did the first show that he did with me. You was on that show, on that panel, and I was just telling the listeners how that brother transitioned, and it kind of like, threw me off a little bit, and kind of just getting back to business as usual. So I want to give a shout out to that brother. You know what I'm saying? Montrez Porter, safe travels. Safe travels.
I remember that podcast.
Yeah, it was a very interesting podcast, I must say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But we was just chopping it up and just talking about a lot of things that have transpired in between my last show up until now. We're just catching up on life and a lot of death in the air and stuff like that. So we was just chopping it up. I think what we was talking about just now, I don't know if you're aware, but they just released the findings of the forensic audit out in Arizona about the election. And it basically came back that there's a lot of flim flam that went on, and now they're gonna get to the bottom of it. And then you may have other states that may join in and do the same thing. And when it all said and done, you're gonna realize that we may have somebody in position that's not supposed to be there, and how they gonna handle that. It's gonna be interesting to see, because then you might have to uproot somebody and put somebody back. So we just gonna keep it like that, and that's gonna be a mess in itself.
Yeah, that'd be some good entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. Get your popcorn and watch the show. Another crazy thing I was checking out today, man, with the Haitian situation, they're gone. They moved them.
Where they move them to?
I don't know, but I
just
read
disappeared, right?
They disappeared. But here's the thing, because I saw an article where, and we're not gonna say it wasn't real. We're not gonna say it wasn't real, but there's articles out there saying that joint was staged, because I was talking to one of my I was talking to Sis today too, Pot, and we was building on that, and he was saying the same shit. Like, where these people come from all of a sudden?
Exactly. That's the thing that threw me off at first. I was like, yo, how they even get over this?
It's like one day they just said, yo, we got X amount of thousands of Haitians at the Mexican border, black people.
Sound like fruit flies.
Haiti is nowhere near Mexico, man. So it's like, where they come from? And you could tell they've been there for a minute, because they had tents. It almost looked like a tent city, like they've been there for a minute.
Yeah, cause you know how they do, throw you off your shit.
Well, the stage is getting bigger. The stage is getting bigger, and they realizing that people are falling for the stage. They don't need confirmation. All they need is images, words, and images.
I was just about to say that they put some pictures out there, like, you know what I'm saying, the Haitians getting whipped and all that.
Yeah,
I hope that ain't the case, but it's a little I'm a little skeptical to really believe any of this. I need to know. I need more information.
You got to question everything now, man. Yeah. Everything got to be questioned.
Always, it's, to me, everything, even from way back, you got to question damn near even all the stuff that we've been researching, man. Research has got to be questioned. I mean, even if you're coming out with your side and there, you know what I mean? You can be researching something that really has no stability anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you could be getting created information. You could be getting falsified, created information. It's like you in a world that really doesn't exist. Like, the stuff we're talking about has nothing to do with what's actually going on.
Right,
so you're being misguided.
That's put out there purposely, to throw you off your game.
They got they got information for other things. It's like they putting out other resources. Come on, man. If you're a mastermind, you put out some information. It's even smart enough for you to put out some other information too against it, while you're still going a different direction. So you keep people stuck in these little, little whirlpools of their own. You know what I mean? Like, interacting with each other, talking about something that they pretty much got sides. You like going nowhere, really.
Yeah, they got you in the whirlwind.
Yeah,
like we are right now.
Play both sides. They play both sides.
It's actually a whirlwind.
Yeah, that's why it's always good to not be in the middle of that, but kind of step out of that and watch what's going on, because they do play both sides, and they control both sides, and they fund both sides. And the thing is, we're always caught in the middle of what's going on, not realizing that your enemy is basically creating the whole scenario and you are reacting to it. So self-mastery teaches that, you're not supposed to be affected by, lower frequency things. You're supposed to be outside of that, watching everything go on, so you can make a sound judgment on which way you want to move. Because when you're being affected by all of the stuff that's going on, you can't make a sound decision, because the puppet master's pulling the string.
Getting emotional. Like, people watching this, they get very emotional. So they going pretty much off of emotions. They're not thinking rational.
No logic.
Right.
No logic. Yeah. And that's very is that system and that mindset is very detrimental to a lot of people right now, because without using just simple logic, people getting caught up. And you know, I was at a point of feeling some type of way, but at this stage, I understand. Like, yo, we've been through these cycles before, and we always get some sort of help or warning before they occur. The thing is, if you're not listening and you're not in tune, you're gonna get caught up. And if you worry about those who are not on your frequency, you fall into the trap too. So you really gonna have to just let go and keep it moving.
Yeah,
It's sad, man.
That's the hardest thing for some people, you know.
Especially when you got families.
I'm about to say they want to bring everybody along with them, you know, for the journey, but everybody may not see or agree with your journey. So, are you hard enough, tough enough, whatever you want to say to to move along, to keep to keep on your journey and leave everybody else behind?
It's almost like everybody is trained to be feminine in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Like we working on emotions, hardcore.
See, I
like everybody's just stuck in their emotions.
Yeah, let's take that word feminine out.
Well,
a lot of feminine men. I mean, excuse me, emotional men.
Yeah, it's making us emotional, and we making judgments that can still imprison us or keep us. You know, we're making emotional judgments to stay where we at, to stay prison.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, we do know in time of battle or war, stuff like that can get you killed. We've seen plenty of movies where it's like, look, you know, if you don't keep your head on the swivel and think,
right,
you get caught up. And that's where we at. This is a soft but very deadly scenario that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to treat everything as a serious situation to a degree, because you don't know what kind of circumstance or what it's going to produce down the road. So, you know, got to keep your head on a swivel and don't
be aware.
Yeah, got to be aware and you got to question everything now. You got to question everything.
Even if you see it, you got to be closer and look some more.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you how the propaganda machine works, dog. The election audit out in Arizona was supposed to come out. Well, it did come out yesterday, but it was supposed to come out 4:00 our time, right?
Yeah.
So when I woke up, I'm checking my news feeds, right, to see what's going on. So I see these news feeds from the mainstream media, and they're saying Biden won, and the audit was a waste of time, waste of money. The results are out, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, the results hadn't even been released yet, but yet they're already creating a false scenario to condition the masses of how to think and what happened. And it was crazy because when I looked at it, I was like, how the hell they know this? And this shit ain't even out yet. So then when I checked, so then when I checked the independent news sources, they was laughing at them like the mainstream media done put out these false stories and shit about this, that, and the third, and it hadn't even been released yet. See, that's keeping your head on the swivel, knowing how the game work. Because if you follow everything they put on the tube, you done.
Yeah, pretty much. You pretty much program. You pretty much programmed how they want you to think.
And then when the results came out, it was totally opposite of what they were saying, nigga. Totally.
But you know what's so sad about that? People are so programmed that they'll overlook it. Like it's like if they know they've been robbed, it's like okay to be robbed. It's okay, you know. It's like they just letting it be okay. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird, man. It's like things that they do to us. We just look at it. Okay, they cheated. Okay, well, we still gonna, you know.
That's cognitive.
You know what I mean? There's no fight or no change. Like okay, y'all, you know, you just sit there and just okay.
Yeah, that's cognitive dissonance when people are faced with the truth or reality about something, and it just won't. It's not registering, and that's a weird but real way that things go down. Cognitive dissonance is that thing where when you bring people something that's factual and truth, they will not register it whatsoever. No matter, they could be looking at it and it's like, no.
Ego.
Cause no ripples, man. I don't want to cause no ripples in the lake, man, in the ocean.
Well,
it also got something to do with ego.
We at the great divide now. Things are dividing and changing. And I think right now people just got to make a hard choice on where they want to be and what they want to do. And it is what it is. And I think everybody that's thinking along the lines of, not being easily led to the slaughter, they're gonna have to find like-minded people to kind of like band together with, because that's just where we going. And that might not be your family, that might not be your friends, that might not be people you even know.
Word.
But this is where we're headed. We're gonna have to gravitate towards people who are on the same frequency. It is what it is. You can't even be emotional about it.
Exactly.
Move emotions, come together. It's just, easier said than done. It can be done. Don't get me wrong. I got a positive outlook on things, but it's definitely that time. It's definitely that time.
That's what we talked about last time. We were saying,
we haven't even seen nothing yet. This is like scratching the surface of what's coming down the pipe, man. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
And it seems like they always want to pull some BS when it's cold outside, like right when it gets super cold. Like, come on, man. Nobody wants to be cold and going through whatever.
Yeah, that puts a little extra hurt on it, man.
Oh.
You know what they using this thing as? They using it like a dog. You know how they use sheep and they have the dogs that keep the sheep moving to a certain direction? That's what the jab is. That's just what the jab is. It's like they're using it because, sometimes you got to think like this too. Like, fear is sometimes presented as, threat or kind of creating, how I'm going to tell you, like, I'm going to throw out all this information to somehow wire you into submitting to my program. So I'm going to do as much scaring, like we was talking about, I'm going to do as much scaring as I can to make even the ones that's not scared to be scared. I'm going to keep putting it out there. I'm going to keep putting all this fear out here so they can finally submit. I don't even have the power to do what but I'm getting them to submit by their own will. So I'm going to create fear here and be like, okay, we're going to come and do this, and we're going to do this to people who don't do that. They most likely don't have the power to do any of that, really. But they can scare until they get every last sheep on the same path.
Right. And once they get the majority of the people to submit,
they don't care about
that's when they're coming for the other. That's when,
Yeah.
That's when the mandate, you got your laws, whatever, they coming for the other 25. They're going to ostracize you, outcast you, do whatever. Make you seem like the villain, bad guy.
Right.
You don't care about other people's health. You know what I mean? You're going to seem like the worst person ever. And I was looking at something actually a while ago, like an hour or two ago, about the Knicks. All of the Knicks got vaccinated. Now, I know they're getting paid big money. You have to make a decision. You going to play or you going to protest? That's just the thought that came in my head. You gonna play or you gonna protest? You getting paid millions. What you gonna do? I know what the majority. I think I know what the majority of people gonna do. They need that money.
Yeah, I mean, if you got $100 million in the bank or close to it, and it's easy for me to say because I'm like, shit, if I had 100 million, I'm like, fuck y'all, I'm just gonna live my life, right?
Yeah.
But you got to factor in a person's passion, and you got a lot of people who want to be in the limelight. They want to be in front of the cameras. That feeds them. So you got the money, but without the flashing lights and everything that comes along with it, it's like I'm nobody.
Yeah.
All right.
But here's something we got to question though. I think a lot of people in high places are getting like, I don't think they're getting the real shit. I think they're getting like some saline, some shit that is really harmless. Because look at it like this though. Look at it like this. If I was in control, right, and I wanted to get, let's say I wanted to get rid of some folks that I didn't like, there was a problem to my plan. I'm gonna keep the people around that's gonna generate me millions of dollars. I'm going to keep the thinkers around that's going to run these corporations. I'm even going to keep a certain number of workers around to pick these motherfucking oranges and shit. You see what I'm saying? So I think, and it's possible, that some of these people in high places are not really getting the sauce. I think they getting some water. And it's being promoted to us that they got the sauce.
And then when they get it, people love them so much they trust their judgment and they want to do it.
Because they're generating hundreds, if not billions of dollars. We talking about regular people like me and you. Was like, shit, okay, I'll sign up and get it if my favorite player got it. That seems cool. I'm gonna go do that shit and then realize you get the real sauce. He got the water. And now I'm fucked.
Right.
And I think some of that shit is going on.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's 99%. I'm pretty sure that's about 95% right. That well, you know what you're saying is actually going on. They got, you know, everybody got a different serum. You know what I mean?
And I think it just don't make no mathematical sense to me to off your money makers and the motherfuckers who bring in all this bread. Like, I need you a part of my machine. I can't bump you off.
Yeah, right.
I can't have you fucked up around here.
Make them generating all that money around them, you know?
Yeah, and plus they need them for you to, you know, they're like the web. You get caught up in they stuff.
They the gatekeepers.
Then,
yeah. The sheep follow them.
Yeah.
But a point that you made, Pot, none of this is by force. None of it. So when people say I was forced to do this, bullshit. None of this shit is forced.
Willingly.
They don't even have the power to force any of this shit. It's all about decision. And it's all about being put in a position where you gotta make a choice what you gonna do. At the end of the day, they just created the
really
scenario.
You against you.
Yeah, they created a
you
scenario.
Against you, brother.
And you got to choose.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, you got to choose.
You got to weigh it out.
Yeah.
What?
Now, Oh, go ahead.
What up, Mark?
Oh, shit. Jeez, that hair like shining and dwining right now. What's up, brother?
Oh, man, Mark.
Oh, man.
But, nah, man.
What's
I
up,
just,
Lawrence?
you know.
Next time I text you, you text me. Next time I text you, you text me back.
I gotta remember your number if that's you then. Because sometimes I be thinking it be somebody else trying to, you know, hack me or something.
That's why somebody give you their number. You're supposed to save them in your contacts.
I know. That's the problem, though. You gotta say your name.
I hate that shit because sometimes when people give me their number and I don't put a name by this shit, right? So when they call, I don't answer that shit because I don't, you know what I'm saying? You get a lot of spam calls, so it's like shit. When people call, but like I'm not answering that because I don't know who the fuck it is. Yeah. But see, you know, being that I cut hair, you know, I got a lot of clients and I'm bad with names. The crazy part of this is I name people like Potty used to name people back in the day. Like Aaron is wide. Like D Watts was Grill.
Like he Dion. That's Dion.
Yeah. Everybody got a name, right? So that's how I name people and that's how I remember people. Straight up. If I don't give you a name, I'm not gonna remember. So what I have to do is I put everybody as client. So they call it just say client. That shit crazy.
No name, client.
Just client.
That's not
Dang,
personable,
Rex was
man.
tally.
That's not personable.
You was tally.
But if
Molly.
I do remember your name, then you definitely
What was it, Pop?
Tally Molly.
I don't remember that. You remember that, Rick?
See that was funny. I don't know. He making shit up. I don't remember that either.
That's the nickname that I call him, Tally Molly, though. I never really like said it to you a lot, but that was the nickname for you, man.
He said he never said it to me.
Nah, we got some crew names that been around shit for damn near a decade, man.
Yeah.
Pop, what's your crew name?
Oh, you funny as hell, man.
Hi.
I'm not gonna say it. As long as you don't say
Go ahead,
mine.
you can say it. I don't care.
Nah, we
It's
good.
universal anyway.
Where that name come from, Pop?
Huh?
Where Potty come from? Where that name come from?
Man, just a household name.
Okay. That's all you want. That's all you gonna say, huh?
A household name.
You remember Terrence? Man.
But you gotta factor in that Terrence Pops used to have a weird way he used to talk, so calling him man was just funny as hell.
Man.
The Wayans, they was the Wayans family and shit.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, they all funny too, man. Yo.
Oh shit.
Those are the days, man. Those are the days.
Mark, what's been up with you, brother?
Same old. Working, home, sleeping, working out.
I hear that.
Work.
I talked to Sis today too, man.
What he up to?
He's engineering a show somewhere down here. Sid's been all over the world doing that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But he said he's coming back to Atlanta. He got to do engineering for Lettucey, some shit. Yeah, Lettucey. So
okay.
he gets around, tall as hell.
Yeah, word is bond.
I know Sis Week. He used to play ball, right?
Yep.
This is play ball.
Yeah.
I remember one year for Neptune, he played. That's all I remember him playing this 1 year.
I know that nigga tall as hell. I thought that nigga was a band.
Who taller, you or him, Rick?
I think he taller than me.
I think Sis taller than Rick's. He taller as hell.
He taller than me.
The last thing I know about Sizzly, he couldn't dunk.
Damn. I don't know about
He probably would do it now. He could probably do it now, though. But I know last time I seen him try to dunk, he couldn't dunk. I was like, oh, man, you touch that joint. You can't dunk.
Nah, the funniest
Probably do it now, though.
Yeah, the funniest shit about Sis, I mean, you remember we went through that phase of like house dancing and shit. Niggas had dance crews.
I knew that was coming.
You imagine a tall cat like that doing the house dancing? Shit's funny.
Well, hold on.
Like
listen. I seen tall dudes rock taller than Sizwe, but Sizwe just didn't have no coordination.
Oh my god, it looked like a daddy long legs doing house dancing and shit.
Oh man.
That's my dude, man. Fucking Sis. Cool as hell.
Yeah, I remember that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, we was just talking about all the shit that's going on out here. This is really my comeback show because I've been kind of MIA for a minute after my my homeboy transition. So I just been kind of putting it off. And I was like, man, I got to get back in sync. So this is like the comeback episode, just kind of like greasing the wheels and getting back in tune, man. But other than that, man, we just was chopping it up, talking about just everything that's going on out here in the world with people kind of following suit on, you know, you know what's going on. I ain't trying to get back in Facebook jail, so I gotta keep it real clean.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, they put me in Facebook jail. That was my first time doing time. So
it's going down in Brazil.
Yeah. So it's a lot of places going down, but it's not really just showing. They're not showing us what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
of course not.
It's just a matter of time before it kind of spill over. And the thing about us is, I think once you back us in a corner, like really back us into a corner, then shit has to give. But we comfortable over here. We got options. Everybody ain't got options.
Yeah.
We can pick and choose. But when you're in a country where everybody's in one boat and everybody's affected by the same shit, it's mad different though.
Yeah. I
Mad
don't know.
different.
It's tightened up here, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, I was watching the news. I was watching the news that they was protesting in Newark. You had firefighters, you had nurses, and police officers. They were protesting that they did not want to get the the sauce.
Yeah. I think I was watching something like that. Yeah,
that will cause infrastructure problems.
It was the teachers saying they was gonna quit, saying they not getting the vaccine. I mean, if you could do that, yeah. I mean, but
be able to do that. They ain't just gonna be able to quit.
You got military cats quitting too.
Yeah.
So, but ask this question though: why would a country want that type of holes springing up in their infrastructure all over the place? Why would you want people like, let's say, Navy SEALs, police officers, people that are important to maintain our integrity as a nation? Why would you want them saying, you know what, I'm walking away from my post? Why would you want that? Why would you even create a scenario where they would choose that? And the only thing I can come up with is we're being prepped for something else and we need our infrastructure weak as hell. And I think personally, they're prepping us for a Red Dawn situation. For those who've seen Red Dawn, you know what I'm talking about. So when you have a Red Dawn situation, you can't have certain shit in place. So it's like, I'm gonna leave the back door open for you. So when y'all get ready, y'all just come in through the back door.
Yeah.
Pop seen Red Dawn. So I don't know about that situation, but I think in order for that to be pulled off, we have to be sick and fucked up because we are the most heavily armed society on the face of the earth.
Right.
America.
Mm-hmm.
So you just ain't about to just come in here because you feel like it. You got to put us in a situation where we can't do nothing when we down at our lowest. And I think the sauce might be a part of that to keep motherfuckers,
The sauce is the wolf, is the dog. The dog that's controlling the sheep. That's the sauce.
So, but hell yeah. I think on another note, our ancestors been through this shit before. And I think we need to take a page out of their book when it comes to strategically planning. And that's something we're gonna really have to go back to.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's the hardest. That's the hardest thing, to do. I see anyway. Is people coming together. All people coming together. It's hard for me to see that, man. It's sad. It's sad to say
because of money, man.
I don't think it's gonna be our people per se. I think it's going to be a mixture of a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
Because first of all, let's get this shit out of the way. You got a lot of people of color who think that people of color are supposed to be all together on one accord. That is not true. We are a tribal people, even though we are we are the original blueprint, but we are a tribal people. When I say that, yeah, he looks like me, but he's from that tribe, and I respect that tribe.
I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't like we were just one,
right?
One big blanket across the planet. Nah,
right.
Tribal, and we respected different tribes.
Yep.
And that tribal thing is in our DNA. So we're gonna click up with people who are a part of our frequency. And they may not look like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They may not look like you. They
I mean,
may.
I'm like I said, I'm keeping a positive outlook. But
Well, on a positive note, we do win. You know, our ancestry, that shit's written in the stars. We
it's
do
been
win.
winning. I would say it's been winning, even through all the struggle and the bullshit. We still,
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah, we still win hands down in the end of this shit. But I think going through the door is gonna be the real test. And I always had this thing where you have people who say, well, I will move out of heavily populated black areas and I will move around people who typically don't look like me, right? Because I'm successful now. The problem that I have with that is if anything goes down in this country, the safest place you probably are going to be is amongst your heavily populated, melanated people who may not have as much as money as you, but they damn sure gonna have more guns than you.
Yeah.
And that's where your protection gonna be at, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. That's where you because when everybody has one common enemy, then all the firepower is pointing at the enemy, not you. Because if I ain't got nobody else to point it at, then I might be waiting for you to leave to go to work, to climb in your house, see what's in your
If you're on
refrigerator.
that side anyway, you become the enemy. You know what I mean? You standing next to the enemy, you become the enemy.
Yeah.
You're right. And this is what we talked about before too. It seems like people still excuse the people that's doing all the physical work. Like I'm talking about the people who's taking the orders, like to do this stuff. It's like they're not being held accountable. That's all I'm saying. And I think that's like the biggest advantage to actually do evil stuff, but allow the people that's not going to be held accountable to do your work for you. Like, let's say your buddy is in some kind of force, some team, and he's taking orders to do this and do that to you, and these people, but you're not mad at him. You're mad at the person that's giving him orders. Right. You're not making that person accountable, and those people also feel like they're not accountable either. They're just doing their job, but they are the motor. They the ones who make this shit happen. So I think they need to be held accountable too. I'm just saying.
I think that narrative is falling apart. We had a situation here where somebody took the sauce, went home, gave it to somebody who didn't have the sauce. Person died. Family got mad, went to the hospital and banged on the nurses and shit, beat them up. So now you got workers who are afraid to leave their jobs, go to work, because they're afraid that if your loved ones go in there trusting that everything is good with this sauce and you give it to them and something bad happened, now there's repercussions because people feel like you did this. So we're having situations where those minions who are doing this stuff, who their job is to facilitate this stuff, they're catching it now because they're accessible. The motherfucker who run this shit, the corporations, they in an office somewhere. You can't get to them, but you definitely can go where you got the sauce, that spot, whether it be a parking lot, because they giving out the sauce in the parking lot now. But wherever they giving out the sauce at, that's where people going.
For sure.
And that's what's happening now. So I wouldn't want to be in that position of being a minion, because you're a minion. That's your job. But we got to keep in mind
but they go ahead.
But a lot of these
feel like they get away with it.
But a lot of these people are ignorant to what's going on too. So
like
you can't
fully think like that's their job.
Exactly.
That's how they think.
So you can't.
But they have to be treated that way too. I don't care how ignorant you are. You still, you're still doing the activity that's,
Yeah, I'm on your side. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't care if you don't know you killing and shooting people and this and that, but it's the person that's giving you the orders, the evil person, and you don't know that you're just taking orders. But that kind of makes you
Like I said,
enemy is somewhat. It's hard to say, but it's true though, man. It's like what I'm gonna just shake your hand and laugh at you after you done killed, but your boss told you to do it.
Yeah, there's repercussions on both parties, but it goes back to accessibility. Who's accessible? That's the person who's going to catch it.
Mm.
So if I can go back to the shopping stop where I got this shit at, I'm going back there.
Right.
So whoever's accessible is going to catch the smoke. Yeah. You know?
And like I said, that means that you're on the other side though when you're doing this stuff.
I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that because now you're not thinking. You like you said. Your excuse is I'm just doing my job. What you just said,
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just doing my job. But you gotta use your own brain in this somehow.
So I'm not supposed to hit you or protect myself because you're just doing your job, nigga. You know what I mean? Like I ain't supposed to protect myself and get rid of you or do something to you because you coming at me talking about I'm just doing so. I'm supposed to okay, dog, you doing your job, whatever. You know what I mean? No, you the hands for the enemy, if anything.
Yeah, I like that.
So I gotta cut your hands off. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, that stuff is going on.
You ain't making no threats. I could.
Yeah, that stuff is going on, man. And I stay out the way, so it is what it is. I mean,
Y'all
try not to get caught up in that too tough.
You're like you're about to hurt somebody, Mark.
Mr. Frazier.
Huh?
You're about to hurt somebody.
It's y'all all breaking up. So it's hard to hear you.
Oh damn, for real?
You might have a bad connection. It's been said that don't use the Wawa Wi-Fi. You know.
Damn.
I don't think he heard that. Look at his face. Don't use the Wawa Wi-Fi.
You said the Wawa Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta.
Available.
Yeah, you can't. Don't use Wawa shit. You gotta go to like Burger King. I'm just fucking with you, Mark. Yeah, bad connection, brother. Yeah, it's delayed because he's like he ain't even hear that shit.
Oh man,
It's the freaking weekend.
Hell yeah!
Why y'all niggas ain't partying, man? The club.
Look what I got. Look what I got, dog.
She got a syringe, man. She got your own.
I got this from a Halloween store. A needle. I got this from a Halloween store. Look at this. Like now they got needles, dog. Come on, man. You know what this is for, right? You already know what this represents.
Hey.
The jabby wabby dabby.
That's sauce, man. We have we have different classes of coronal mass ejections that come off the sun. You got an X class, you got an M class, and like two more classes. The worst is an X class. The X class CME could basically fry our grid, our electrical grid on the planet, and send us back to the dark ages. Fuck up the cell phones, GPS, all that shit. We're having a M class mass ejection erupt tomorrow. And it takes a couple of days for the shit to get to Earth. Mm-hmm. The M class is right before the X. X is the worst. So it's definitely probably going to warm up a little bit. And we'll see how it all pans out. But we've been getting a lot of these CMEs coming off the sun because we're really in a sun cycle right now. So the sun is shooting a lot of cosmic radiation at the Earth, which causes Earth changes, which causes earthquakes, causes disturbances, and all types of electrical shit that we got going on. That's something that we need to keep in mind. That ain't got shit to do with the powers that be. That's just the universe going through its changes. It does affect us as human beings. And our ancestors, you know, they worked with these type of energies. So let's just keep in mind that there are forces at work that are bigger than the folks we typically discuss on Brainwashed on Heavy. And we got to look at them as catalysts to kind of empower us to a degree to be open to cosmic information, because all that shit is nothing but light particles traveling from different parts of our universe, and we absorb that, and melanin is a good conductor for electromagnetic energy. So right now we're being empowered on so many different levels, so just keep that in mind for real.
Some people,
yeah, so that's happening tomorrow. So, and we've been having some earthquakes pop up here and there a lot.
yeah.
So the earth itself is going through some changes. We're going through some changes, but they kind of keep us focused on surface shit. But we definitely it's time. It's time. All this shit was written about. All these cosmic changes and all this shit was written about. We just here to witness.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to be here to witness this shit, to be alive and discuss it. But
for sure.
we gonna see shit that ain't got nothing to do with them. Nothing.
That they can't control.
That they can't control at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey.
Our job as melanated beings is to be in tune with that.
I'm about to say, accept it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And keep it pushing, man. What else you gonna do?
One thing about the brain, once it makes up its mind, there's no stopping it from doing what it's trying to do.
You're right.
You never know who you are until you pushed against the wall, especially when your life is pushed against the wall. You never know who you are. We can say anything we want to say. Oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. Saying yours, do this and do that. It's all good. I mean, it sounds good, and it sounds, however you want to say it. But when that rock is all falling on top of your head, from what you were saying, it's a whole different experience. You know what I mean?
You in the middle of an avalanche.
You got seconds to think here.
Earthquake that be going down. Man.
You been in an earthquake before, Ricks?
Nah.
I don't want to ever be in one.
I mean, it was one. They told me it was one, but I ain't feel nothing.
It's a weird.
I'm talking about a real earthquake.
I was in one, but it was real quick and brief.
I was asleep. I ain't feel nothing.
But just that little bit felt weird because it felt like everything was vibrating.
Yeah. Shit,
it's the weirdest shit ever. It's weird when the earth shakes. It's some weird shit.
Earth vibrating. Yeah.
But what's funny though? You felt it, but damn, we didn't feel it. What the hell? What does this mean?
Because it's different plates and things that your states and where you live at.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're more closer to it.
So wherever you're positioned at, when they start to shift and move, that's who's gonna feel it. Everybody won't feel it because earthquakes don't affect the entire planet at one time, because the entire planet's crust is not just one big plate all the way around that everybody is sitting on.
Right.
So you got different aspects of the crust and how it crosses and intersects and all that type of shit.
Okay.
But if you close to high activity areas like out California, they just had one in I want to say Mexico. Yeah. So shit crazy. They have the big joints to bring down buildings. So I don't want to be in no big fucking earthquake with the ground opening up and shit like that. That's next level.
I couldn't even imagine.
Because then you have gas lines and shit that are bursting. Like you got gas lines that run throughout your neighborhood under your houses and shit. So shit will be blowing up everywhere just from the gas lines alone.
Yeah, I can't imagine that shit. Shit, when the power go out for a day or two, I'm fucked up. I'm like, shit, I'm in the third world country, so yeah, I'm fucked up.
When the power go out, I could deal with it better when it's hot outside. When it's cold,
oh shit,
it's a whole nother animal. But I had to prep. I prepped and kind of I learned my lesson. So generators, solar power shit, just went and bought it.
The niggas that went through Sandy in New Jersey, them niggas should be prepared. I wasn't here. I was in VA at that time. But the shit my mother, brother, and sister, everybody was going through, they was going through it, man. It was cold.
It's like the end of the world, man.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him. I like, damn, I ain't like that out here. I'm good. I'm all right.
Yo, we had cats all up in Food Town and the food markets, all sitting, charging their phones, all sitting down on the floors and tables. Like, it felt like the world was destroyed, yo. You walk in there, niggas all on the floors and just, just trying to charge their phone. And I'm eating all cans of Spam and all that kind of stuff. Cause that's the food you're gonna have to rely on when stuff go down, man. You got them damn preservatives, man.
I ain't mad. You gotta eat what you gotta eat. I ain't mad at you.
Those preservative foods, that's what you really gonna need when that time comes. That food that lasts forever. You need a basement full of those Spams and Vienna sausages, and but that's gonna be there.
I don't want them. I'm gonna get something else.
Sardines, though, if you want to go with sardines and tuna fish, you can do that too.
I'm fucking with that. I'm fucking with that.
So, I would say that's the best thing to load in your survival kit is tons of sardines and peanuts and stuff like that in bags, like stuff that can preserve for a long time if you find some produce.
Yeah.
Because you don't need that much every day. Maybe you don't if you eat.
Nah, people overeat anyway. You know what I mean? So
like you could go 2 days without eating. You could go 1 day without eating. Shit, you could go a week. But I'm just talking about in a cycle. You could go every other day and be fine.
You better ration that shit when the shit hit the fan. You better ration that shit.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to be on a whole new system when shit like that happens, and not eating because you're used to eating 3 times a day or whenever you feel like
shit, it. Nigga, we all eat more than 3 times a day on a normal. You know what I mean? So we eat like royalty. Everybody treat like kings and gods out this motherfucker, man. We eat and eat because we like to taste. We ain't even hungry. We just like to taste.
Know it's real when a nigga give you a can, open that shit. This is your dinner for the day.
Word up.
Yeah. And it's enough. And it's enough.
It is. A little bit of protein, a little calories. Especially with the sardines, you might get some omega-3s or something. Man.
You get fats, everything you need, man. You get all the shit. Yeah, you get all the right stuff in that. You don't have to prep or, because to me, seeds is like the things that come when you got an establishment, like planting seeds and stuff like that. But if everything is on a move and all kinds of stuff going on, you need that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. I ain't prepared. I am not prepared, man.
It's definitely prep time. It's prep.
I got mad sardines and everything because I was getting hyped when it first happened. When that's the first happened. I mean, I got sardines.
You had them right there. All throughout the house, nigga.
Yeah, man.
This nigga had them right there.
I got more under there too, man. I got You gotta keep packed just in case. Throw them in your bag.
You got some in the bathroom?
Nah, man. But I got a bag. I got actually a bag in my closet that's packed with like a survival gear. I just thought it's like an army bag. I got everything I needed. So when it go down, wrap. You know what I mean?
Hey, a lot of people got those. They call them bug out bags, man. They have everything in there.
And a knife. You need like a Rambo knife. And that's what I'm searching for, a Rambo knife. I need something like a Rambo knife with a compass on it.
I got a machete. Huh? I need a compass. That's what I need. I got a machete.
Yeah, I can see Ricks with a machete too. They slicing zombie heads off.
Yo.
But yeah.
If you seen that shit, the shit is real. The case that came in, that shit handcrafted, is leather. It's handcrafted. Came down from South America. That shit mean.
Yeah, machetes is good. A small axe, long axe, and as far as firearms, you want a shotgun, sidearm.
You definitely want something.
Rifle.
Yeah. But the only thing about the firearms, you got to use it wisely. That's why I prefer having like a knife and all that other stuff because firearms run out. You want to save that for really when you really need it.
Yeah, you definitely want
to. If you could kill somebody with a knife, don't waste your ammo.
I'm gonna tell you something.
I mean? That's right.
A small axe is so vital because you never know when you're gonna need wood to chop shit. you're definitely gonna need an axe. Because like wood is just like one of them things that you just
Yeah.
you always go. Even if it's not wood, you might be near some bamboo because we have bamboo growing in certain areas around here. You need to chop bamboo, anything, machete. You definitely gonna need a machete. But yeah, man, prepping. I would advise anybody you need to go on Amazon, but you should get something that's solar powered to power your lights or cell phones or something like that. You can get a small power bank that's solar power. You sit that shit in your windowsill, and
That's fat though, solar power.
you
Yeah,
know,
no, it is. It is.
If you
That's
could get that on a
important.
vehicle, just a solar powered vehicle, that's straight. You
So
know,
your
if you can
house,
just get a
vehicle,
vehicle,
everything,
just
man.
solar power, where you can travel in it and go wherever you want, hide out, whatever in a vehicle, like a road vehicle.
On your roof, nigga. Put that shit on the roof of your house, nigga.
Yeah,
Damn.
I would show y'all my little solar power
Yeah,
bank.
but
It's
houses,
sitting over there.
like I said, when it comes down to it, man, those houses get hunt down and overwhelmed, and niggas get pushed out, blow their shit up. You know what I mean? You gonna want to be in something mobile.
Yeah, if you
Get the
dealing
fuck
with
out.
if you're dealing with roaming mobs and shit like that, depending on where you live at.
Just like a Black Summer, we already seen it. Black Summer showed you that.
I'm gonna have a fortress around my shit, man. I'm gonna have lookout mans. I'm gonna have all that, man. It's gonna somebody on guard all the time, man.
This is why you're gonna have to build good relationships with your neighbors and people in your
For
neighborhood.
sure. For sure.
And
You're gonna need a lot of dogs too. A lot of like dogs that warn you. A lot of dogs out in the woods or whatever. Like,
dogs, but I do agree with that.
yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
got to know the people around you and formulate.
just don't let no crazy dude come up with a tank dog. It's over for everybody.
Nah,
Don't let nobody come with one tank dog and everything's done, dog.
Nah, ain't nobody gonna come with no tank, man. Nah.
They-
The most importantly, people gonna be looking for food, dog. To keep it real, food and medicine. Those
Yeah,
are the two
fighting
things.
over it.
That shit rules. Food and medicine.
But if you're very intelligent, you can control a lot of people if you know how to make medicines and stuff like that.
Well,
And,
that's what I was about to say. The
Yeah.
cat who is like the let's just say the doctor or the healer. The healer is going to be very important, and they typically keep those people alive because they know how to get shit right. If you sick, you never kill the motherfucker who's the healer or the doctor. You just got to keep them alive. You got to protect them. But definitely, I don't think we're gonna get to that point.
Nah,
I don't think we will either, though.
But we will get to a point of our livelihoods being
uncomfortable. It's gonna be
uprooted.
Yeah.
So power and stuff like that, food shortages, we would run into those problems. We're gonna have those problems. Yeah, we definitely gonna have those problems. So prep for that. And like I said, get to know the people around you. You got to do that because you never know. A person might have something that you don't have, and you might have something that they don't have.
And with that being said, where I live at right now, a lot of homosexuals moved in the area. You know me, I'm kind of standoffish. And I actually shouldn't be like that because these people, they don't do nothing to me. I mean, they,
Yeah.
But that could happen no matter what their lifestyle is or whatever they do. Some people have to come together to guard the block, community, whatever. You know what I mean? So
when people,
I gotta have an open mind about certain things.
And that's what I was saying earlier. When everybody's faced with a common threat, all the bullshit that separates you go out the window.
Right.
So, it is what it is, and that's something we got to keep in mind because that's not too far, and that shit could literally, based on my research, that could be, literally a month or two away. Disruptions. That is disruptions.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. I definitely don't doubt that. It's disruptions now. Shit. I definitely don't doubt that shit.
So prep as much as you can. I would advise y'all to go on Amazon and get you a solar powered something.
Yeah.
They start cheap as a bank might cost you like $25.
Okay.
but get you something that's solar powered.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, based on your budget, at
Mhm.
least be able to charge your fucking phone.
Right. Right.
If anything else, be able
Shit.
to charge your phone.
Shit.
And those
you
power
right.
banks, like I said, you can take them. You just sit that shit in the sun and they'll charge up straight up.
Nah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Matter of fact, I'm about to look that up right now on my phone.
Cause I'm about to get
I'll be ass out, man.
not too big, but I'm about to get some pretty big solar powered devices to power, like, you know, small heaters and shit. Even though I got a generator, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I want something solar powered because generators, they don't require a lot of gas, but they require gas. So you gotta stockpile a lot of gas, which, you know, I do, you know, have to store gas and shit like that. But I'm just saying, you don't know for how long we gonna have to ride the shit out. The good thing about being in the South is it gets cold, and we're either gonna have a semi-cold winter or that shit can be warm. But our winters don't last long. We just have a couple months of that shit, and then we back in, you know, decent weather. But imagine being in a snowstorm or a blizzard and your fucking power go out.
That's why I don't like Thursday, man. I don't, man.
That's some horrible shit, nigga.
I experienced it like not completely homeless, but like I said, I stayed in a truck with no heat or nothing like that, with a mess with no sills for a whole week with no heat or anything. I was sleeping under a mattress in the truck. I threw the mattress on top. I was freezing below zero.
Nigga,
so I was homeless with a job. My job, I stayed homeless in the truck. I lived in the truck for a week. I traveled.
You're the only one. There's a lot of people doing that.
No, I'm saying, but I had a truck that didn't have any, like, they had electrical problems, so I couldn't get heat. I couldn't get, so at night it didn't have no sill in the door. So when the air blew, the cold air, it felt like you outside.
That shit was whistling through them cracks.
Yeah, dog. I was covered in. Yeah, I was so cold. I threw the mattress from the top thing on top of me. I was living like a bum in that joint, man. Yo, you don't even know how I survived in that. Yo, I had alcohol. I ain't even gonna tell you how I stayed clean, man. But I had all types of remedies to keep my body from like building up moisture and all that stuff. I used a lot of alcohol on my feet, all kinds of stuff, man. It kept me clean. I didn't take no bath for a whole week, dog. I have no access to anything.
All right, Pot. Yeah.
I'm just being real, man. I'm just saying, like, there's ways to keep yourself clean. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have access to, you know, stuff like that. So I had all kinds of
bath, man.
No, I'm just saying, but I had all kinds of stuff to keep my feet from not building like athlete's feet and stuff like that. And I had mad socks. I had, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So it's like certain things I kept, you know. I learned a lot, man. You know, doing that.
That's good when you go through those things. You kind of learn how to, you know, adapt and stuff like that. I'm gonna give you a good remedy, man. If you probably can go on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure there's other sites to sell them. But if you get a good size solar powered battery, it's like the size of a car battery. It's you know, it's kind of big. But if you can get one like that, and it may cost you $100 or $2, but you can actually get you electrical blankets, like one electrical blanket. That's all you need. That you can actually plug into that solar powered
that's
battery pack, and you good. That shit will keep you warm throughout. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you need, for hours, all night.
But I'm gonna tell you this too, though. After being in that so much, your body temperature changes, and you become a little. It's not as bad as you think it is after a certain amount of time. You can actually deal with certain temperatures when your body adjusts. Is, you know what I mean? Your body get adjusted to these things. Sometimes it's not even like, it really don't feel cold no more. You know, I'm not talking about no major, like way below zero. But I'm just saying, actually, I mean, certain temperatures is like you kind of, your skin builds up to certain temperatures. After a while, you adapt. You really do. You really adapt. It's not as cold to a person that's used to staying warm. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's like, I drove a Honda Civic that had no heat and nothing in that. And the windows used to be frozen in the morning and everything. I couldn't defrost the windows. I still found the way to drive that car where I had to go to work and whatever. I drove that car freezing cold, below zero. Think about getting into a car when you don't have no defroster and you can't get
Oh,
the
that's
ice off the
stupid,
window or nothing, dog. You gotta let that engine slowly heat the car up like a little bit, and
That's
you gotta
torture,
drive it. Then when
man.
you like breathe and you can see all like all your I stayed in the Civic like that for a year. I drove a Civic like that, man.
That's the worst
5-speed.
weather to be in when we start having these disruptions. And
Yeah,
it's one thing.
It is.
It's one thing for us to survive as just dolo, but when you got kids, loved ones, it's a different ball game. So we have to have a contingency plan that can include more than one person. You have to, unless you just straight dolo, officially straight dolo. Because one thing that will drive a man crazy is looking over the fact that his child cannot get warm and they cold as hell, and there's nothing you could do about it. So prep as much as you can, because
I would recommend a wetsuit too, like a hypothermia, like some kind of wetsuit.
Yeah, whatever you got to do, man, whatever you got to do. But I know for a fact if you get those power banks that you can plug up electrical blanket that will keep you warm, keep your kid warm, keep whomever warm. They got them in different sizes. The thing is, you can put that over you and you can put a regular blanket on top of you. Because one thing I learned when I used to go camping with my kids, I don't give a fuck if you got 10 blankets over you. You still cold as hell. You can't move out of that spot. You cannot move because all your heat is concentrated in one area. And as soon as you move, it's ice cold. Ice cold. I slept outside in the fucking woods. It's no joke. So I've learned that you need something else when the earth is cold and all that cold air is coming off the ground and shit like that.
Ground be hard, feeling like bricks.
Yeah, you gotta have some sort of heat source. So I'm just saying, like when you get a solar power bank that you can plug a warming blanket up into, you'll be straight. Trust me, because that shit will all night long. Your ass will literally be warm because you will have something that's actually feeding warmth to your body. You will not be cold whatsoever. Now, it's a different story once you wake up and you get up and you get from underneath it and you go about your day, but it's going to keep you straight throughout the night. You won't freeze to death, that's for sure. And it'll keep that charge all night. And once the sun come up, your shit'll start recharging again. So you really good. Think about that, especially if you got little ones or loved ones or older people. It's just going to be important. Hell yeah.
Nice to just put a whole thing together with that, man. I mean, they could do so much with electric panels.
Yo, I'm gonna leave and come back on. I'm trying to get this Bluetooth working. It ain't working for some reason.
Shit, man, we might be out of here. We've been on for a good hour and 13 minutes now.
Yeah. We've been rolling for a minute. Yeah, we probably can go ahead and call this one. Yeah, because we a little over an hour. Pretty good, but yeah, man, I just appreciate the build and just kind of softening things up so I can get back into the swing of things and get my shows back to how they need to be. So I appreciate y'all coming through. Coop was supposed to come through. He said he might. You know what I'm saying? But,
Coop is the pinnacle of.
All I'm gonna do is shake my head, man. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah. He was at a party or some shit, but he said he might come through.
It is Saturday night, so I'll give him that.
Yeah. But at least he answered my text, which I appreciated him. That was enough. Like shit, the nigga answered, so it was like cool. What more can I ask for? If he show up, that's a plus. So I wasn't tripping too hard. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all brothers coming through and the welcome back show, just kind of getting back into the swing of things. I guess the next couple of shows, I'm gonna have a little bit more structure and we're gonna get into some things. And I'm actually gonna start do some screen sharing so I can put some things up on the screen because there's a lot of articles and things that I want to pull up and images that I want to show to really bring home some of the information that we be talking about because people need to see shit based on how the brain works. We're gonna be breaking down some things based on some of the slides and things I'm gonna be putting up. But I appreciate all that, and You know, until then, I'm gonna see y'all brothers tomorrow at 2:00
Yep.
on the
Salute,
Straight Up
brothers. See
podcast.
y'all the next one.
Yep. Until then, I'm gonna say peace and y'all be safe.
Peace.
Safe
All
out
right,
there.
peace. All right,
Peace.
peace.